How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. If you've already been subscribed, definitely be sure to click that little bell icon down there to turn on post notifications. All of that stuff is absolutely free, and as a smaller car channel here on YouTube, I really do appreciate all the support. But anyways, getting into today's video, you guys saw the title and the thumbnail, and no, this isn't clickbait. This is just my honest opinion. Lotus is going ahead and now making a new vehicle, which in my own opinion, I just think it's a way of them selling out and marketing on like a broader scale. Obviously, Lotus has always been like a niche manufacturer. They've always, focused on lightweight performance cars. And again, and this is in my own opinion, I know some people are going to really love this new Lotus. But others, like myself, am definitely going to hate it. I mean, it definitely does make sense from a business standpoint, which I'll talk about in a bit, but just as a kind of like Lotus standpoint and just like looking at their culture and their history and the meaning behind the brand of Lotus, I definitely think it's a sellout move. And now, if you don't know already, and if you haven't heard the news already, I basically have two things to say to you. Electric SUV. Yes, Lotus is out of all brands is making an electric SUV. Now, this was already rumored, and there was kind of some speculation about this move for about a year or so now. However, I just don't like to really see a Lotus badge on the new Eletra, which they're calling this new electric SUV. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic SUV. It's already got pretty impressive performance numbers, but when you're talking about Lotus, you always think extremely lightweight vehicle, and you think just a very small, compact, go-karty-esque feel when it comes to a driving experience. Now, to be honest with you guys, I 100% doubt, and I do not believe that Lotus is going to replicate that feeling into this new electric SUV. I just cannot see any sort of possibility or any sort of path where they go ahead and they do that. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'm sure some of you may will. But I really do not like this new addition into Lotus's lineup. Now, this new Eletra is going to be the third vehicle in Lotus's lineup now at one time, along with the Evija, which is their new flagship electric car. So that is kind of, it's still electric, but it is a car, and it's going to be making a ridiculous amount of power, and it's definitely going to be in more of that hypercar-esque range when talking about supercars and hypercars. That car is definitely really impressive, and I really can't hate on that much because of the just sheer performance that Lotus is getting out of that model. However, the third model in the lineup is actually the Emira, and this past November I was actually at Lotus of North Jersey for a live in-person reveal of the Emira. But to be honest, in my opinion, I think that is the last true Lotus. I think it has a twin turbo V6 or maybe naturally aspirated V6. Double check me and correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below, but it's typical mid-engine, very simple to very similar to the Evora was, and it still is a lightweight, go-karty-esque car. And now with the direction that they're moving in with the Evija as well as this Eletra, I cannot see Lotus really maintaining a lot of that history in these new models. So we are going to be taking a look at this Car and Driver article today, basically talking about how Lotus has revealed more specs and talk about the price of this new Eletra. Now, as most of you may guess already, it's going to be over six figures. It starts at 85. So Lotus is one of those brands where it's kind of a budget supercar brand. But looking at this SUV, it definitely seems more of kind of on par with the Urus size or Urus size. But it doesn't seem like a small, real crossover SUV. Now, this article does go on to talk about the actual specs. It's a 112 kilowatt per hour battery pack, all-wheel drive with twin motors. I'm assuming one motor in the front and one motor in the rear. It starts off by making 603 horsepower, except the highest model does make 905 horsepower, which definitely, again, is really impressive. And the US pricing is actually not revealed yet, but the European market is between 94.5 to 103 $100,000. I'm assuming that's in euros. I would have to say so if they're talking about the European market. The article again goes on to talk about some more numbers with its 0 to 60 time, which is around 3 seconds, which I feel like, as impressive as that is, it's almost like standard now with electric vehicles, but still really incredible for an SUV to rumble along at that sort of pace. Also, the range does seem pretty impressive as well. It talks about some other things. It's going to be produced in China. It also does say that Lotus tried to make it under 4,400 pounds, but Car and Driver is still predicting it to be right around the 5,500 pounds curb weight like mark. But looking at some of the photos here of the new Eletra, I do kind of like the design. The wheels are very similar to the Lamborghini Urus or Urus, however you want to pronounce it, and it almost seems like a Lamborghini Urus Light. Like it definitely looks a lot like it when you just look at the overall silhouette, the wheel design, the front end even. Obviously the headlights are very different, but yeah, I cannot see this like being a Lotus. I don't really see a lot of the heritage, and I don't see a lot of the design carryover, which honestly, how could you when you're going from a car to an SUV? Now in the interior, they definitely didn't copy any other Lotuses, I believe, of, you know, the past, or I guess even modern day. They went with something completely else. It has like a touchscreen right here. I love the seamless design. The electric gear changer, gear selector is a little bit weird with that like little flap right there. But yeah, I see like the speakers and stuff. It does look like a good interior design, don't get me wrong. And to be honest, if this SUV had any other badge on it except for a Lotus badge, I would be completely fine with it. I think that it's definitely a pretty good new electric SUV. It's definitely like something that could probably tear up a track and also be a good daily driver, except it's still an SUV. And that's my main problem with it. I cannot seeing Lotus making an SUV. And considering that they just went into the like electric universe with the new Evija, I just think it's a little bit crazy. Like we've been seeing this time and time again with different brands, most notably like with the Ford Mustang Mach-E. I would have no problem with it if, you know, Ford just branded it as a Mach-E, except they had to go ahead and stick that Mustang nameplate on it. Just like this new SUV from Lotus. Honestly, it seems like a great vehicle. It seems like a lot of fun. Something you could, I guess, take the kids to school and then still have a lot of fun driving around. But with the Lotus badge on it, it definitely rubs me the wrong way. And I can say the same about the Urus, the Aston Martin DBX, and even, I guess, the new Ferrari Purosangue, except the one thing that the Ferrari Purosangue did that all these other like supercar brand SUVs things that they're now making is that the Ferrari kind of didn't really copy one of their cars. With the DBX, they basically copy and pasted the interior design and some of the exterior design of the DB11, and the same thing with the Urus and the Lamborghini Huracan. It just seems like it was a little bit, it's just done because how the market is going in today's day and age, where so many people would rather buy an SUV instead of a car, even people that have this much money to drop on a vehicle. And I just think it's definitely like a sellout move that some of these manufacturers are doing. Again, from a business standpoint, it makes perfect sense, and you can't really blame them at the end of the day, because thousands of people's jobs depend upon, you know, meeting certain like sales marks and everything. But I definitely hate to see, you know, something like this coming from a brand like Lotus. It just doesn't fit. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Again, some of you guys are going to disagree with me. That's completely fine. Let me know why you guys think I'm wrong down there. But while you're down there, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Like I said before, it really does help me out a ton. And definitely be sure to click that little bell icon as well. Thank you guys for sticking to the end of today's video. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed today's video, click on either of these links right here to watch a similar video from this channel, or click on the little circle link right there to actually subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. I do appreciate all the support, but thank you for sticking to the end of this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day.